I could talk about that all day, but let me just actually get my ish together, go in the kitchen and actually do it. I've been feeling heavily convicted about how I eat, what I put into my body, and my diet in general. And what's crazy, what's baffling me about it is that I don't even eat that bad. Like, I used to eat way worse. I ate out pretty much most of the time, but now as a married woman, wow, that's crazy. I cook most of our meals. We eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at home. We go out very rarely, and I've been noticing that after I eat, I feel very icky on the inside. The same way I felt when I would eat Jack in the Box or McDonald's, and I would just feel so disgusting on the inside of my body. And I'm sitting here like, God, I'm making my own food. So what's the issue? I don't get it. When I tell you, like, I would finish a meal and want to drink like a glass of juice, and I just felt convicted for wanting to go to the fridge and grab some juice. And let me give some context. The word says that with great knowledge comes much sorrow. God knows that I'm fully aware that food is not as nutritional as we think it is, or the food that's in our grocery stores, in our restaurants, whatever, down to the meat, the vegetables, the food in the boxes on the aisle. He knows that I'm fully aware of that. And I choose to ignore that and say, you know, I'm pretty generally healthy. You know, I'll be okay. But I think he just wants me to take it more seriously. And I feel a need to be more serious about my health, about my body, because health is wealth. It's contradictory for me to say, you know, take care of your temple. You know, you are a vessel for God, and, you know, get your spirit right without taking care of our bodies. Like, God is not one or the other. He wants you to take care of your mind, body, and your spirit. And I'm like, you know, I work out. I can get a smoothie every now and then. I love a good green juice on a Tuesday. Or, you know, I like to cook with vegetables. I do my fizzle. But, you know, it's just another level of spiritual development. And I think it's more than just physical. I think it's just another, you know, another thing he wants me to grow in. And God is constantly calling us higher. He's constantly going to tell us to do better. He was not convicting me about hot Cheetos when I first gave my life to Christ, but he's convicting me about hot Cheetos right now. He was not convicting me about drinking cranberry juice, the very sugary one, not the raw real one, 3 weeks ago, but he is today. So I have to make some changes, and I feel a sense of urgency to do it too. Part of it is I was like praying, I was like, God, I really want to get my skin clear, because my skin is not as clear as I want it to be. If I have on the smoothing, blurring effect, I'm gonna take it off real quick and just show you all my skin. Because it's a huge insecurity that I started noticing most once I started being on YouTube, because I like seeing myself in the camera all the time. I have huge pores, I have a lot of pimples that pop up when, you know, I wear makeup, and I have hyperpigmentation around my mouth. I have a lot of dark spots that come from these random breakouts. And it has a lot to do with what I eat, I'm pretty sure. Because, you know, just as, you know, the abundance of, what is the verse? What flows from your heart? Just as the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, which Matthew 12:34 says. In the same way, the abundance of what is in the body will show in your physical appearance. It's not always, you know, God made me this way. And this is gonna be a little bit controversial, because we're in this era where it's all about embracing you and embracing your flaws and not changing. I don't agree with that, and that's not biblical, because yes, there's some things that we can't change, but there is a way that we can be healthy and take care of ourselves, and I'm not doing the best job at that. And so I just want to implement a few changes. Speaking of, my dad is calling me, and I'm about to ask him for some advice. Hey, Dad.
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
So I just have some questions about the juicing that you do.
So I put a picture of it in the refrigerator, and I drink it in the morning. And the juice that I did is good for your digestive system, especially like you're cooking colon. And with cabbage is a lot of water, but it's green. should be regular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also the green, which is chlorophyll, gives you a lot of energy. And so it's good with just pushing everything out. So in addition to that, drinking more water and then eating good. And so when I'm on that mode, I try not to use sugar. You know what I'm saying? Less sugar, more foods with less fat or good fats, but just be mindful of how you eat. Like a lot of red meat weighs you down and makes your body be heavier because you're eating stuff that it can't be digested that often.
Yeah.
So you'll know that once you start, your spiritual growth, you become wiser, and you gotta be more conscious of what you intake. And in order to be lighter, you gotta say lighter as in less dense.
Yeah.
Less
Yep.
gravitational pull to the earth. You levitate mentally now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta incorporate a diet that will allow you to float, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So eating lighter is good.
For example, I feel like I have low energy all the time, and I feel like I don't like how low my energy is all the time. My skin, like I want my skin to be clearer and just stuff like that. I have this fear, not fear, but like I feel like God's telling me, like, I feel like he's telling me, you know better. Like, Jada, you know better. Like, you know, like that medicine that there's a medicine that comes from the earth. And like, if I just learn it, then I could prevent a lot of stuff, because I just didn't know that there could be so much natural things that heal our bodies. But it's just like with our culture in America, like everything points to, you know, it's all about, you know, the doctors and the dentists, they'll heal you. But that's not necessarily true, because people will be sick for years in hospitals. And I have this fear, like, I'm literally afraid of medicine. Like, I hate taking medicine. Like, I hate taking Midol when I'm cramping. I hate Tylenol. Like, even just the little things. And, like, I just feel like I want to try some new things. So I was trying to figure out what direction I should go into. So I wanted to ask you, because I know you be into that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you should probably just incorporate doing a cleanse like once a month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think, too, that a lot of churches, that's one thing they don't touch about is diet. You know what I'm saying? You get the cupcake drive.
The soul food cookout. Right.
All in your veins.
Exactly. And people think it's hereditary. Like, oh, I just got, you know, heart issues because my daddy did. No, it's because you eat like your daddy did. But if you...
Alright, baby.
Alright, love you.
Alright, love you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. Yeah, y'all. So I think I'm gonna go get a juicer, and I'm gonna go get a bunch of fruit, and I'm going to just incorporate juices into my diet and have healthier lunches, because I usually just take dinner leftovers and have that for lunch. But I think I'm gonna like focus on having a healthy lunch meal. Dinner, I'm gonna be loose. I'm not gonna be too strict. I just think it's crazy. No, it's not crazy. It's spiritual. It's exactly what it should be. In the same way, you know, the world tries to poison our spirit. We're constantly under temptation from the enemy, who is trying to get us to fall into sin, fall into bad habits, fall into strongholds that we can't escape, and we become in bondage spiritually. He's also trying to keep our health in bondage, and it's something that we also may not even think about. There's so many things that we don't pay attention to, that the enemy just sneaks around and just has us in shackles to without even knowing it. Like, we could be, like, yes, it's so possible for you to be in shackles to sugar. It may not be sin, but you're in shackles to something that is like killing your physical body. And if you want to be here for a long time, if you want to take care of your temple, if you want to do what God has called you to do and not leave the earth too early, we got to be conscious of what we put into our bodies. And with great wisdom comes much sorrow. Like, it's very sad to know that our grocery stores are filled with genetically modified foods, and we're eating meats that are not the way that God designed them to be, do not have the nutrients that, like, our food lacks the nutrients that God originally gave it. And we're taught that the cure to everything, to all of our health issues, are pills and doctors and dentists, when really it's all coming from the earth. You know, there's stuff, God created it. Like, God created it that way for a reason. We're so connected to the earth, it doesn't make no sense. The way our bodies are designed, the way our minds, our hearts are designed, the way we eat, like, we have everything we need. And we're so convinced by culture and by American society and what we've been told and what our government tells us that we lose the trust in what God created. And I have this fear, and I don't think it's like a demonic fear. I think it's righteous fear. I have a fear of hospitals and medicine, and I'm not like so afraid that, like, you know, I'm not gonna take my medicine if I get diagnosed with something, God forbid, and I'm just like, you know, I'm not gonna mess with the doctor. It's not like that. It's like, it doesn't feel like hospitals and dentists were designed to actually like cure you. It feels like they were designed to study you, keep you sick, and get your money. I'm not saying all medicine is bad. Take y'all medicine, y'all. If that's what you need to do, take your medicine. But there's absolutely no reason we should be completely ignoring the fact that the earth has a lot of these natural remedies. I could talk about that all day, but let me just actually get my ish together, go in the kitchen, and actually do it.